Hi there. My name is Tercy Engelhardt, and I want to welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast, Living in Grace by Choice. So, I have to say, first of all, thank you to all of you who listen in or watch. It is both video and audio. And I just love when one of you comes up to me sometime during my day and says, "Oh, I enjoyed your Substack," or "I'm grateful that you post every week." And I'm always a bit surprised and always excited to discover who you are and grateful that we have this vehicle and this way to be able to share. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that we can stay connected in this way, and I don't necessarily even know who you are. So yeah, wonderful. Thank you. I love that you're there, and I love being here. Um, and I love discovering who you are. So just a quick reminder. This is like I'm in the 300s of episodes, and I have said this kind of probably 300 and sometimes, but I don't have your answers. I'm not here to answer, give you your answers. I'm here to help you discover your own. And how that happens is by just sharing tidbits of wisdom I've gleaned on my own journey. Oftentimes it gives clues that other people can see something for themselves in their own journey, and it helps them move along and take the next step in becoming the best version of yourself. And which I think we're all here to do. I think we're all here to actually become more of who we were created to be and less of who we've determined ourselves as a response or a reaction to circumstances in life. And so, welcome. I'm so glad to be sharing this journey with you. Let's see here. I do still offer on Tuesday mornings opportunities for me to just sit with you one on one. And the benefit or the value of that is simply that as an elder in the community, I can reflect back to you what I see and hear. And I can promise you it's always better than you see or hear yourself. So if you want a little bit of encouragement or just an elder to reflect for you, I'm happy to do that. And you can schedule that on tercyengelhart.com. And if Tuesday mornings don't work for you, just reach out to me. I can be flexible and I'm happy to do that. Okay, so this particular episode is called What Do You Do When Bad Things Happen? And again, I'm sharing from my personal life, my very present and everyday now personal life, while I get to enjoy that this is my 40th year of recovery from living an addictive lifestyle for 20 years, from 16 years old to 36. I'm so grateful every day for my recovery. And I was thinking this morning as I was listening to a podcast, I was thinking this morning about, it's so easy to get caught in regret and remorse, particularly if you've struggled with addiction and you've been the part of either being the victim of abuse, or perhaps you've been somebody who, treated other people in ways that you wish you never had, or both. And yet I think it's so important to recognize that forgiveness is can run through and through, and you can actually not carry those wounds forward, but step more fully into how deserving you are of love and how deserving you are of giving love, which is a big part of that healing process. So, just a reminder of that. So, bad things do happen. And while maybe many of us live our lives hoping they don't happen to us, they do. And so for me, my situation is my sister who I've already lost one sister, and my other sister and I grew up quite close. We're only 2 years apart. And while she dealt with her own issues of addiction, and we had years where those ways we were separated, because oftentimes it's difficult to be as close as we'd like to be to somebody who's living with addictive behavior. And in her and my situation, both of us were. So challenging. But in these last several years, I'm so grateful for the time that I've had with her. And in particularly, really recently, like I talk to her every day. I send her a video as I walk to the milk room, and it's just one of the highlights of my day. And I'm so grateful for that. Well, she just recently was diagnosed with a version of colon cancer. And while we don't know anything else yet, and it's a big unknown, um, I can, and she's doing probably better than I am at just being with the unknown and taking the next step and not projecting too far out into the future. But I was talking to my son and he was saying, "How do you feel?" And I said, "I just don't want her to suffer. I don't want her to suffer. And I want her to be around longer. I want to be able to have more years with her." And so when how do we deal? How do I deal with when something happens that we wished wouldn't happen? And the question for me is, how do I keep my heart open? Well, I think today when I text her, I said, let me know how I can best support you. And while many of us have maybe heard people say, you can't fix things or change things, but you can just be with people. Now, she doesn't live close. She lives in Tennessee, and I'm here in northern Idaho. But just like this podcast, there's ways to be close and not necessarily live in the same town or even the same state. But for me, it's like being there in all the ways I can be there. That's what I'm committed to. And that's also how I keep my heart open. I don't have her answers. I don't. I don't know what choices she'll make on her journey. I can listen. I can support. I can pray. Yeah, I can. I can share. I can be as transparent with her as I can be, and I can invite her to be as transparent with me. And I can trust that no matter how much time we have left together, that I'm committed to making that time authentic and intimate and real, and to be there with her, to walk through this with her, whatever this looks like. And right now, like I said, it's a big unknown. They're going to do surgery and remove it, and oncology will be involved, and they'll give her options, and she'll make choices. And but I can be with her. And the truth is, during those years when the both of us struggled with our versions of addiction, the saddest part was, yeah, we couldn't be present with one another. And right now, there's nothing in the way of us actually being present with one another. And that's probably the greatest gift that we can give each other. And for those of you that may deal with bad things, things you wish wouldn't happen in your own life, I just want to encourage you that, sure, sometimes maybe we're falling into we wish we could fix things or change things, but that's looking forward and that's also looking back. But in the right here, right now, the best thing we can do is be with one another. And sometimes you don't have to say anything, you just have to let them know that you're there and be available if and when they should want or need anything, and be willing to be available. So that's what I want to encourage you to do, because here's the thing, things that we don't want to happen do happen, and they can happen suddenly and unexpectedly, and they can also be long and drawn out. But ultimately, I think what all of us want really is to just be with one another, be available, be present, be here with one another now. And that's what I'm committing to. As she walks through this, as we walk through this together, I'm going to be there with her and for her, whatever that might look like. So I encourage you to, if you're dealing with something currently, or hopefully you're not, and if and when something comes up, you've had this conversation with yourself and you've set yourself up to recognize that what matters most to you with the people that you love and care for is that being with them is what matters most, whatever that might look like. So take that on this week. And if there's something in the way of you being able to do that, look and see what it takes for you to get that complete, so that if and when that time comes, you could actually make that commitment. Okay? I'm grateful I can make that commitment. And I'm grateful for you. Have a beautiful week. And yeah, look and see, what do you have to do to actually be available and be with those people that you love, no matter what. All right. And I'll see you next week right here. And I look forward to that.